Welcome to the 28 Beats Later podcast. I'm JessaRose.
Hi, I'm Soalyse.
And yeah, this is our, episode 2?
So two, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we've had a lot of hype for episode 1, so I'm really happy that it's already out. So if you haven't listened to it, listen to it now. If you can, pause and then listen to it to previous
Yes.
episode.
Yes. And we yap a lot, so there's a lot in there that we talk about. And um, yeah, just really excited to do our second podcast on this movie that we're gonna talk about today, Obsession.
I saw this on May 25th. It is June 21st right now, but it has been a while since I've seen it, but it still kind of haunts me a little bit.
Yeah, I also saw it around then. I think it was a week before you. But yeah, I also still think about the movie a lot. I see like clips and stuff and interviews from from the actors. And I definitely really enjoyed it. I did see it alone, so it was
Yeah, I went to go see it with Mario, who's my husband, and I had to do a check with him because Mario, if y'all don't know, he is a straight cis male, and I had to ask him just like, do you think Bear was the good guy in this movie? And spoiler alerts, I'm gonna just get a jump ahead a little bit. He said no, he is not the good guy.
okay. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That was like the vibe check I had to like do with a bunch of people. I'm like, okay, wait, what did y'all
Yeah.
think? But yeah, that is a good point too. Also, we are talking about Obsession in this podcast, so there's gonna be spoilers. So if you haven't seen
Yeah.
Obsession,
Go see it.
go see it, then come back. But if you
Hmm.
don't mind spoilers, you can listen to our thoughts, and then I do that with games sometimes. I'll watch gameplay and then get into the game. I'm like, I don't care. Um,
Yeah.
But well, before we get into the movie discussion, we wanted to talk about just some stuff that's been going on since our last podcast. Just kind of things that we're excited for that have like been announced recently, like game wise. So
Yeah.
the first one I wanted to talk about was Resident Evil just announced their Code Veronica remake,
Yeah,
which
I'm
I'm
excited for that.
so same. I played the OG uh 2 years, almost 2 years ago, I think. I can't remember, but I like that was a wild ride to play that game.
Yeah, I really like the Code Veronica game. I've never played it, but I have seen people play it. Think I remember watching you play it. Because you went on a whole like Resident Evil series on your Twitch channel.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty wild ride. I love that game, and I'm glad it's there's a remake for it. I know I'm definitely going to be playing it. It's kind of like the same with like the Resident Evil 2, 3, and then 4 remake. Like I've never played the original games, but I've currently working through the remastered games. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I played most of the remakes. Oh, Code Veronica was the only game that I played the OG. So I'm really excited to see. Eventually I'll go back to the other ones, but yeah, I'm definitely excited. And there's definitely some things in that game that I do not hold up for today. Like Claire be saying some crazy shit. I'm like, girl, I've been seeing so many like queer creators being like, girl, honestly, the way she delivers it is kind of funny. Like everybody's just like, that's funny,
Yeah.
that's hilarious. But like, yeah, I'm just excited to see what they change and what things they keep. And
Hmm.
yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, I think I remember there's a couple games that kind of stuck out to me. But the new Silent Hill game coming out, I think September, Silent Hill Township. So, hi, post production Jessa here. I meant to say Silent Hill Townfall and not Township. Anyways, going back to podcast Jessa and Solis. I got into the Silent Hill series pretty late. I played the Silent 2 remaster back in I think 2023, and I loved it. I didn't play any of the Silent Hill games before, and I loved that one. And I played Silent Hill F when that came out. I loved that one too, so I'm very excited for Township. I've seen some discourse about like our main character, and I'm really excited about him. I really am. And it's going to be, I think, a different area than like the typical Silent Hill like town. So it's a new area.
Yeah, I haven't like kept up too much with it. I've just seen some teasers, but I usually just scroll. I'm like, save that for later. I will go back.
Hmm.
So I need to catch up on all that because I love Silent Hill. Um,
Yeah.
all the games, and I do like the first movie. I haven't watched the other ones. We will go into
Mhm.
those probably for a podcast. That would be really fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited that they're like branching off from. I think it was just everything was based in the U.S. and like the
Mhm.
town of Silent Hill, and then
Mhm.
but now they're in Japan, and now they're going to a different place. I can't remember exactly where. But yeah, it
Mhm.
seems like a kind of like islandy, like European. Like I feel like it's kind of like to me, I'm thinking of Norwegian island for some, or not island.
Ye
I'm totally bad, y'all. This is embarrassing because I'm a
No,
geography
I
major.
think it might I think you might yeah. I wanna call it an island. I don't know what it's called. It's not necessarily like, I don't know what I think a typical island vibe is, but it's like your small town island area.
Like they got fishing and stuff. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I'm visualizing from. It's been a while since I've seen a trailer, so I'm like, I could be totally off. But yeah,
Yeah.
um, yeah. When I said island, I immediately was thinking Fiji. I was thinking Love Island. Also, another thing I've been binge watching right now, horror, Love Island. I
That's how I
best of both
am with
worlds.
yeah, I just finished a book and it for people that don't know, obviously I love reading a whole bunch of horror books. I have a whole bunch of horror books there, but I also like to read smut books. And so I just finished a smut book. So I'm just like horror smut books.
Yes, I would also say same, but I can't remember the last one. The last one I was kind of jokingly reading for a book club was 50 Shades of Grey. Didn't finish it due to having to put a pause on the book club, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun. I
Trying to
think.
think what else.
Oh,
I mean,
DVD.
yeah, oh yeah, Dead by Daylight. Um I think the announcement was like maybe a week ago. But Dead by Daylight celebrated their 10th anniversary. The newest survivor got announced, and I'm very excited for it. His name is Shane Wigwas, and he's our first Indigenous survivor for Dead by Daylight. I'm sorry if we butcher his last name. We're both not Anishinaabe. We're
Oh,
both we're both from tribes in the U.S. and not from Canada, even though I think Anishinaabe is also parts of like northern US, but
I think
mine is
so.
more like northeast US and yours is like
Um, Southern California
yeah.
area, so our
Yeah.
languages are all very different. I know, like,
Yeah.
yeah, Dallas Goldtooth voice acts for this character, right?
Yes.
Which is
Yes.
exciting.
We call him Uncle Dallas.
Uncle Dallas.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I don't know if you saw the voice lines going around on like Twitter and TikTok, but like they kind of leaked some of his voice lines and it's pretty resi, I have to say so myself.
Oh, that's so fun. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I don't actively use Twitter or TikTok, so yeah, you should send those my way because
Yes,
I'm
I
sure I can find
will.
them on Reels. But yeah, definitely send me anything that you're like, ooh, look at this.
Yes. I forgot what so I think by the time this is posted, he will be already out. He comes out June 25th. We got so lucky enough to be since we're both a part of the Indigenous Alliance, which is like a group full of indigenous creators on Twitch. I think it was Angie Noel kind of hooked us up with a whole bunch of codes. Thank you Behavior, thank you Dead by Daylight for giving us codes. I think you also got the free code. You and I got the
Yeah.
free code to get Shane for free on Dead by Daylight. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, thank you, Behavior, and thank you, Angie, for also, yeah, getting us those. Yeah, I like when DVD first came out, I was obsessed. I would play for like 8 hours straight. So I've been
Yeah.
like back and forth between playing Dead by Daylight, and so like I'm just super excited that finally there's a Indigenous survivor in there. So
Yeah.
definitely going to be playing a lot more, and then also the other stuff that they're going to be adding soon too is like really exciting.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I am mostly a Jane main because I mostly do Survivor, and I love Jane because like she was kind of like the only representation I saw myself in. So it's kind of nice to see another Survivor. I'm just like, hell yeah, I'm gonna try and P100 him.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited. I was like, wait, do I have a main in DBD? It's Jill and Sable. I'm just my mains are baddies. It was Meg before, and then yeah, once I was like, wait, there's other people. Yeah,
Hmm.
and I think those are my mains. Okay, should we get into the movie?
Yeah.
So like Obsession is the movie that we're talking about today, like we mentioned earlier. We wanted
Yeah.
to start covering some like new movies that were coming out because like the month of May was crazy with horror movies.
Hmm.
I know some did better than others. I
Yeah.
haven't seen all of them, but Obsession and Backrooms were the two that I've seen. And this
Yeah.
one just came out. Curry Barker directs it. Curry Barker, I think. Yeah, I think I said his name right. Um,
Yes.
he directed and produced the movie, and he's also like a comedy sketch creator too. So I've seen a lot of his stuff on YouTube and
Hmm.
Instagram because Kevin, Grim Native director, had showed me a bunch of stuff of his, and I think they're called. Is it Not a Bad Idea? I think there's
Yeah,
some.
I think that's
Yeah.
one of them. Yeah. Hi, this is post production. Jessa, I wanted to come here to make a correction on Curry Barker's channel. The name is That's a Bad Idea. So I'm so sorry that we butchered the YouTube channel name, but just wanted to come here for the correction. And now on to podcast Jessa and Soalyse. I feel like a lot of the actors and actresses in this movie are like ones that I've never heard of, or
Hmm.
like up and coming actors and actresses, because I think the one that really does stick out to me the most is and if I butcher her name wrong, I'm so sorry, Indy Navarrete. She was amazing as Nikki, and I feel like this year, like kind of like going off on it, I think this year might be like a whole bunch of horror movies might be on like the docket for Oscars, and I really hope she gets like Best Actress, because her performance in this movie in particular is like amazing. I loved it.
Yeah. No, yeah, she did
Hmm.
amazing because I felt
Hmm.
like she looked familiar. I haven't seen her like in anything that I've seen. But I know she is in like several different TV shows. Like you mentioned, there's a few like other or the actors in this movie are like up and coming. So like we had Michael Johnson as Bear, Andy,
Hmm.
I don't Navarrete or Navarrete as
I
Nikki.
think it's Neverett. Yeah.
Navarrete, okay, and
Yeah.
then Cooper Tomlinson as Ian. Cooper Tomlinson, I know, is in the comedy sketches with Curry Barker. I know they're best
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
Um, and then Megan Lawless as Sarah. So those are like
Yeah.
our four main characters in the movie. This is horror, obviously. I think it also kind of falls into like that theme of like I don't know if it's like romance horror, kind of. Um,
Um,
I know there's like different branches of horror.
yeah. So there's this like term kind of going around called incel horror. I think you're Gen Z and I'm kind of like at the brink of millennial.
I'm like 2 years from millennial, so yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like we're
yeah. So
we're
like,
there.
yeah, and so I think this is more of a Gen Z type of like horror genre where a lot of the up and coming horror movies are kind of branching off into, one of them that kind of sticks out to me is incel horror. So this is like, Bear is your textbook definition of an incel, and so at least that's what I've seen. Like some people kind of dubbed this as incel horror. I think it also kind of goes into like romance horror, but like in a darker twist to
In a
it.
different yeah, and we'll discuss
Yeah.
that. It's not like your typical romance of what you would think.
Hmm.
I think it just kind of falls into that just because people thinking of like, oh, it's the topic of dating, and then there's like this
Hmm.
crush and all that, but we'll talk about how that's not as simple as that.
Hmm.
Before we talk about it, we do want to like mention like a content warning, just for anybody because I didn't know anything going into it. For me
Yeah.
personally, like I mean, there was things that kind of shocked me, but like it doesn't affect me as much as like it might affect other people going into this movie. So just want to make sure we make it clear there's like sexual violence, dating violence,
Hmm.
um, in this movie. Is there any other like big
Um.
ones?
Yeah, I feel like the really big one, it has to be sexual violence, because
Mhm.
there is a particular scene that we are probably going to end up talking about that is going to be very, very hard to like kind of grasp on the whole topic. So yeah, that's like a huge one. Yeah, this again, this is a very dark movie, but it's a very good movie.
Yeah. Kind of going into the movie, like kind of the basic, like a general overview of the movie. So we have our um, main character that we follow throughout the whole movie. His name is Bear.
Hmm.
He's like very quiet, and you can tell like he's very insecure, and he's kind of like a young adult, I believe. I believe they're
Hmm.
probably like around college age, and we see him kind of confessing to his best friend that he has a crush on their mutual friend from childhood. That's also
Hmm.
his coworker, and that's Nikki Freeman,
Yeah.
but he has this like huge fear of opening up and sharing his feelings with her, and
Yeah.
his best friend's just encouraging him to do that. We go throughout the movie, and eventually I think he does build up that courage to kind of almost share with her, but then of course he backs out and
Yeah.
he still just very insecure, does not want to share. And it's like, dude, just share your feelings. Um, Worst case, she says no,
Yeah.
then just like go from there, you know? It's like, um, yeah, we do kind of see at the beginning he is alone. You could see he's dealing with feeling, I don't know, maybe like isolated, just feeling a lot of loneliness because he is living in his grandma's old house with
Yeah.
his cat. And we, from the very beginning, see him lose his cat and he does not
Yeah.
process it well. He does not tell anybody, any of his friends. And so he's just dealing with this all on his own. And
This part in particular kind of like makes me think like how did the cat get into the cabinet full of, because I think it's oxycodone that the cat ends up ingesting,
mhm,
and he just loses it. I think that was his kind of like, it sounded like it was kind of his tipping point on just like, the woe is me kind of attitude where it's like, like Nikki doesn't actually like me, like I don't know what I'm doing here. And I think he gets a phone call from Nikki, right?
mhm,
And Nikki is inviting him to, like, I don't know if it's weekly or bi-weekly. Like it sounds like a really cool trivia night at a bar. I guess
mhm,
that they all, like all four of them, like there's like four friends and they all work at the music store. And they go to trivia night. Nikki's trying to like persuade him to go, and he's just like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll go." Kind and because he was hesitant at first of going to trivia night. Ends up going, and I don't know. I remember Ian, which is his friend, like talking about how he didn't want him to confess his love for Nikki at trivia night because that's their friend thing, and if it like goes wrong, it's gonna make everything awkward at trivia night because that's their thing. And yeah, and I think this is where we meet Nikki at trivia night, and she is this. It sounds like she's a very like amazing person to be around. She's very nice to people. She jokes around with the friend group, and the friend group seems like they're very cohesive with each other. They get along with each other. I don't remember. Is the girl's name, the other girl's name Sarah, right?
Sarah, yeah, that's our other
Yeah.
best friend. Yeah.
And yeah, we kind of get the feeling of the group, and the group is just like all like your typical like group of college age friends.
You can tell that Nikki and Sarah both want to be there for Bear because they could tell like
Hmm.
things are off too. And um, I can't remember if Bear tells him about the cat then. But yeah, he does still, he just really wants to tell her at that trivia night. And Ian's just very like, he's encouraging Bear to tell Nikki about his feelings, but he's like, bro, just don't do it here.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And yeah, I kind of get the vibe like Ian doesn't care as, it doesn't feel like he cares as much as like how Sarah and Nikki care for
Hmm.
Bear. Um, and yeah, and so we see that, and towards the end of that trivia night, Bear ends offers to take Nikki home. I know they do take each other, or they go on a ride, and they're talking, and she's kind of opening up to him about some stuff about how she wants to leave. She doesn't want to work for
The music store.
the music store. And yeah, they all work at a music store, all four of them, and she doesn't want to work there anymore. And she just kind of wants to start taking up her
Right.
writing
Yeah, it's
a
like
little
it
bit more.
seems, yeah, it seems like she
Yeah.
wants to pursue like a writing career. And it's just like this first part of the movie made me like love Nikki a lot because like she's a aspiring art like writer. She really wants to, like, I don't know if she just like wants to take off her writing career, if she has a book in the works, or if she's trying to like go to school for writing, but like she is a woman of many aspirations in writing. At least in my opinion, it seems like Bear doesn't really care. So,
Yeah, like, that was a
yeah.
big sign from the start, like, he just, kinda doesn't care, he's just like,
Yeah.
"Girl, whatever."
Yeah.
He's more worried about his own feelings about, "Oh, no, she's gonna be gone, and then this I'm running out of
Mhm.
time to be with her." Yeah, and she does tell him, like, "You're, like, the only person I could open up to about this stuff." It seems like she doesn't maybe really, like, talk with the other friends about that stuff. It kinda goes I totally forgot a whole big part that's right before this.
I just remembered too. Was it the gift shop?
We didn't even talk about the gift shop. Don't
Yeah.
worry, chat. Sorry, I'm used to stream. Don't worry,
Don't worry,
listeners.
listeners.
Is
Yeah.
that what you'd say? Yeah, Bear does want to gift Nikki something. Um,
Mhm.
I can't remember. I think she says that she lost one of her necklaces. Oh,
It
because
was
when they're on the phone call, she mentions
yeah,
like, "Oh shit, I just dropped my necklace." She has like a charm.
yeah,
It seems like she's into charms and
and rocks.
rocks. Yes.
Yeah,
She's a spiritual girly, I think.
yeah,
S
yeah.
Yeah, and so he's gets the idea to gift her a new necklace, and he goes to one of those, crystal stores and is browsing around for some, necklaces, and I think he asks for, like, help from the, store clerk. It was a, lady, she was telling him about all the different kind of stones and what kinda would be good for what,
Mhm.
love, spirituality, wellness, all those different things, but then something else catches his eye because he's just kinda like, I don't fucking know what
Yeah.
necklace to get her.
Yeah,
And
and oh, I just wanted to point out that, like, cause I'm a little bit into the stone stuff, cause I have an amethyst, and my neighbor is, like, heavily into stone stuff, so she gave me I don't remember what rock it is, but her particular necklace was, like, something for protection. Um,
oh,
yeah, and so I've seen a lot of like, and I'm sorry if I'm gonna like think about like the theories that like some people online have kind of suggested, but like they think that like she probably wouldn't have been affected by the one wish willow if she didn't lose her necklace, but the particular necklace that she lost is like meant for protection. So
oh, that's
like the moment,
crazy.
yeah, the moment she lost that necklace is when, you know, her protection goes away.
Damn,
Yeah.
that makes me
So
more sad.
I
I'm like,
know. That's why, like,
"No."
it's the little things that, like, kind of like I've noticed and like people have noticed, and so I'm like,
I love
yeah,
little
that one
details
was
like
really,
that.
yeah. I think
Man.
Curry Barker did like a really good job of putting like little details in the movie.
Yeah, throughout the movie, yeah, there's a lot of different details. Yeah, oh, that's crazy. Yeah, so I know he, like him not knowing anything about the crystals and, like, the necklaces, he's just trying to do it out of being like, "Oh, I like her. I'm gonna get her I think, like, get her a gift so she sees that I care for her in this way."
Mhm.
And he doesn't know what to get, and then something catches his eye, and it's this bowl of all these different little boxes of this little trinket or, like, thing. It's kinda like it's called the One Wish Willow,
Mhm.
and it's one of those things, make a wish, and your dream or whatever you wish for comes true. And he grabs one of those, and then I think he asks about it, and he ends up buying it because he's like, "Oh, I'll give her this." Or did he? Yeah, no, he was gonna give that to her.
He was gonna
And
give it to her. Yeah.
yeah, and then fast forward to when they're in the car and he's about to drop her off. They're having a discussion, and you can see that he's about to like tell her. You could tell she can sense it too that he wants to tell her something.
Yeah.
And then she flat out was just like, "Do you like me?" And he's just like, "Whoa,
Like what?
huh?
Whoa.
I don't know what you're talking about."
What did you? Yeah. I'm
And
just like, bro, just communicate with her.
it's like
Just
she's
tell
flat
her.
out giving you the opportunity to say it because, like,
Yeah.
she can tell that you're trying to say something, and he doesn't take that opportunity. He's just like, "No, like, you're a really good friend." And then she's
Hmm.
like, "Okay, don't
Like,
be weird." But she's like, "Okay, thanks." And then,
yeah. And she like walks away
mhm,
and back into her house.
yeah. And then I think he tries to tell her, he remembers that he has that wish, but I think she's already like gone. And so he's just like, okay,
Yeah.
he's sitting in his car. He gets the box, he opens it up, and then he decides to use it for himself, and he says, "I wish that" I don't remember the exact words, but, like, "I wish that Nikki Freeman loved me more than anybody else in the fucking world,"
Actually,
and
that's the exact
was that
wish that he,
exactly
yeah, literally
yeah,
word for word from like the exact wish.
and then he snaps the little One Wish Willow because it looks like a little
Hmm.
branch, and it plays, like, a little music box thing, and I think that is important too later because I think it makes different sounds, later on
Yeah.
too.
Just like a kind of a jumping ahead. So when someone who already made a wish has broken it, it'll make a different sound. Like it's
Yeah.
like a more of a haunting sound. Little details here and there, like the movie. I think in this part is where we kind of see Nikki's attitude changes up. So we see her kind of like standing at her front door, just like kind of looking at Bear, and this is where like we'll see the eeriness from Nikki. She walks up to the car, and again her attitude changes, and she's just more like, "Hey, like, what did she said that she felt like alone and scared and wanted to go back with Bear."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she said she doesn't wanna be home.
Mhm.
There's stuff with her dad, I think, that's going on too. I don't remember if he lives with her, but she just says, stuff's going on with her dad, and she just
Yeah.
kinda doesn't wanna be alone, and it's just her whole, like, demeanor changes too.
I think this is
Yeah.
where she kinda tells Bear that her dad has brain cancer.
I think something like that.
Yeah.
Again, because I haven't seen the movie in like a month, I'm just like, yeah, but it's okay. Yeah, and then she just starts getting kind of like weird, and he can tell he's like, wait, what's going on? And
Mhm.
then she kind of snaps out of it, and she's like, whoa, like, because she thought she
Like,
was in her house, and she like
yeah.
snaps. She's like, I'm so sorry, like I don't know why I'm
I
out
don't know
here
what's
again.
it seems like she snaps back into normal Nikki, and she's like, "I'm so sorry, like, I'm gonna go now," and then switches back to a completely different Nikki that, post One Wish Willow.
Yeah, so we'll have Nikki, a real Nikki, and then Wish Nikki, kind of
Yeah.
refer to like because there's different things, different moments in the movie, um,
Yeah.
where it kind of switches back and forth. Yeah, and the way they like from the start of this, they really use different like camera perspectives. Like when we first see her, she's just standing in her on her porch, and it's like the
Mhm.
shadows. They really use like shadows a lot in this movie, and it makes it
Yeah.
really eerie and like feel unsettling. And it's a lot with Nikki too, specifically that you don't see her face fully. You kind of just see
Mhm.
like the whites of her eyes. They're like shining
Yeah.
like really bright, but everything else is very shadowy. Um, and I feel like they did really good with that throughout like the whole movie.
And I kind of would like to think that this is it's hiding the real Nikki and kind of showing like the facade that Bear imagines or Bear wishes Nikki would be, as in like he wants Nikki to undyingly love him more than anything else, like the wish has said. So I think this is where like I kind of pertain as like these angles and shadows like covering the actual Nikki, but those like glints in the eyes are showing like the fake Nikki or the wish Nikki.
You know, after this, like, I think he lets her, yeah, she ends up wanting to go home because she doesn't want to be alone. So he takes
Yeah.
her, I think, lets her stay at home with him. And then things just get kind of like weird. She wants to just, she doesn't want to sleep alone.
Hmm.
So he lets her share the bed with him. And she just starts getting like, and you could tell earlier too, it didn't seem like she had any feelings for him in other way than
Hmm.
being like a best friend. And
Yeah.
she gets comfortable in bed. He's like shocked because she ends up just like completely taking her clothes off, like and she's wearing like
A
a
bra and
bra and
shorts, I
stuff.
think.
But
Yeah.
like he's just like, that's not like how I thought she was like comfortable with me. And so and at this point he knows that like this isn't really Nikki because he just made that wish and he just
Yeah.
instantly saw her start acting different. So I think he's starting to like be like, okay, this isn't her. Like, did this thing actually work? Like he's
Yeah.
starting to piece it together that like maybe this did really happen.
Hmm.
Um and yeah, and then I think she even kisses him at this point, right?
Yeah. So she kisses him, and he at first, I think you can see in his eyes that he was kind of like freaked out about it. But like he goes in with the kiss with her, and then this is where the other switch up happens, where like Wish Nikki switches to real Nikki, and real Nikki is like screaming, right? If I
She
remember,
falls off the
like
bed. I
she,
think
yeah,
she,
and she
like,
freaks
jumps.
out. Yeah, she's just like, "Oh my god, like what the fuck," kind of thing, and then like immediately after switches back to Wish Nikki.
Yeah, so we're seeing already there's, like, that back and forth between
Mm-hmm.
Wish and Real Nikki, and
Mm-hmm.
things start, like, getting a little more weird throughout that, and she just starts apologizing, like, "I don't know what was happening, like, I'm sorry." From there, I know she stays with him, and then the next day, I believe they go to work,
Um,
together straight from
yeah.
there.
Before they go to work, though, he wakes up because I think he was going to make breakfast or something. He wakes up and he sees this like memorial for his dead cat, and it's like Wish Nikki put it all together, like grabbed his dead cat from the trash or something and made a whole little memorial. And he freaks out, and she's just like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this would make you happy," kind of thing. And this like trying to appeal to him, but it doesn't, like none of this is phasing her. But yeah, it does kind of freak out Bear. But then I think it does cut to them going to work with, and then we see I think Ian and Sarah at work.
Mhm. I know some people are a little more sensitive to, like, stuff with animals in movies,
Mhm.
there is reoccurring scenes to do with his dead
The
cat.
cat.
Like, I'm like, "Just
Yeah.
let this cat rest." Like, goddamn.
Um,
Oh, it's
I
crazy.
actually before we jump actually, no, I'll mention this when we revisit the cat thing because Kevin posted something that was diabolical on Instagram, and,
I'm trying to remember.
I'll mention it when we get back to the cat, but yeah, I'll mention
Oh my
that.
gosh.
We kind of learn because kind of learn through talking with Bear and Ian, and again while Bear and Ian are talking to each other about Nikki, you see like the camera kind of pan over to like again Bear and Ian talking, pan over, and Nikki is just staring at Bear like and does not break contact, and just keeps staring at Bear like just constantly. But I think that with the conversation that kind of goes with Ian and Bear is that they're kind of talking about like what happened last night, like Nikki kissing Bear, and Ian was kind of taking it back, kind of saying like, "Is she on something?" So we kind of figure out that Nikki used to be some sort of drug addict in the past before I guess she moved to their town, and that's why Ian was kind of like, are you sure like she's okay, like she's not taking anything? And Bear's just reaffirming him like, oh yeah, she's fine, like she likes me back, and I think we're going to be a thing kind of thing. Ian had mentioned saying something that I guess Nikki and Sarah were talking, and Nikki was expressing that she sees Bear as like a brother to her, and, and so that's why like Ian was just kind of like taken aback by the entire thing. So it's just like this whole switch up was weird for Ian.
Yeah, and throughout this whole thing, it's just, like, eerie seeing
Hmm.
Nikki just immediately with the title in mind, she's obsessed with him already, like,
Hmm.
instantly from, like, being,
Yeah,
like, kinda just, like, I don't have feelings for you in that way," and then now it's just, like, he's
all of a sudden.
everything, like,
Yeah.
her only focus. Yeah, so that, like, conversation about him and, or with Sarah and Nikki about her only seeing Bear as a brother also plays
Hmm.
a big part later on too. There is some
Hmm.
references about her seeing him as a brother too. Yeah, I'll mention that later.
I think this is where like they're still in the music store. This is where like not Ian, Bear and Nikki kind of solidifies their relationship, and so kind of cuts to a montage of them dating. I don't know how long they've been dating from like made it official to where it starts to kind of pick up on her erratic behavior. But you kind of see like they're being cutesy. I kind of noticed like this picture. It was like, and this is where like I appreciated the director, is that the picture was like created by is like an AI generated photo, but it's actually not a photo. It's actually made by a real artist, but like it's kind of mentioned that it is like AI, like Bear made it AI generated or Nikki made it AI generated, which apparently some like viewers were saying that like Nikki would probably be against AI generated things
Yeah.
because she's a writer and probably appreciates other writers and artists. And so that was like pointed out during the montage was that picture. um a lot of it had to do with like Nikki kind of like always staring at Bear, and they seem very very close. There's like no
Instantly
distance
just
between them. Yeah.
yeah, like, they're in that honeymoon phase or
Hmm.
whatever, through this too, like, after seeing the movie, you can see too, she kinda I mean, we only see her for a little bit as, um, real Nikki, but, like,
Hmm.
kinda seeing how she dressed, her fashion, kind of her personality too, you can see that changing too more and more through the
Hmm.
clothes she's wearing too. I think I've seen people saying, like, she's kinda dressing more to kinda what, like, a Beal I was trying to say bear and appeal.
Yeah.
What bear is like, what he would appeal to, I guess. Like, or
Hmm.
I think like Wish Nicky's kind of dressing up as like a certain kind of visualization of what bear would want.
I feel like some of her outfits kind of give like trad wife aesthetic, some of her
Yeah,
outfits, and
that's what I was
then
kind of thinking.
like then the switch up kind of happens, and I won't like to jump ahead. She kind of starts to dress up like Sarah, again,
Mhm.
jumping ahead, so that's just to point out everything. But yeah, like her clothing does it is different, and she's also wearing like a necklace that says B for bear. I don't know if you've noticed
Oh, I
that
don't think I've
either.
ever noticed
Yeah.
that.
And she starts to wear it, I think on the date. So it's after the montage. They're on this like dinner date. It looked like an Italian place, and then she's wearing this like really. I really liked the dress on her, but I feel like it still doesn't fit the aesthetic of Nikki. And the necklace she's wearing is it says B from like obviously B for bear.
Yeah, and at this dinner date, so it seems like everything's been kinda like from what we've seen at the beginning, kinda when she first started turning into Wish Nikki, there was, like, some eeriness, but, like, throughout that, you see it seemed kind of like, air quotes, "normal,"
Hmm.
because nothing's normal about that, this whole situation, and you can see that she is, like, obsessed with him, but their dinner date seems like it's actually going, like, okay. She doesn't
Yeah.
seem like any like nothing seems too crazy. We know that she's under the wish spell right
Hmm.
now. But yeah, they're just having this dinner date and then they start talking. I believe he gets a phone call, right, from Ian. So Ian, I know they had that conversation and they were talking about just like how weird it is. Um Ian
That
did
they're
some
dating.
digging, which
Yeah.
just from kind of thinking like, oh, maybe he cares about Bear and he's just kind of trying to like look out for his friend. But he's doing some digging and he finds out that Nikki's dad doesn't even have cancer because that's what she's
Mhm.
been telling Bear this whole time. And Bear's just like, why would she lie about that? That doesn't make sense. Um, and he's like, no, like they're not good. They don't talk, but like he does not have cancer. Like that's not true. So I don't know what
Mhm.
she's making this stuff up about. So then Bear goes to confront Nikki, and this is where things start turning a lot
Yeah.
worse. She in this middle of this restaurant, he just says like, "Does your dad actually have cancer?" And she immediately starts kind of freaking out. She's just like, "What's the iconic line?" She just starts saying,
Just
"No,
like, "No,
no, no.
no, no, no." Yeah,
Why
and
are
then
you
she's
doing
just
that?"
it's like,
Oh,
"We're on a date, we you
now we're
can't
having
be
a good
doing this."
time.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the at least the iconic scene for me for this movie is that dinner scene, and that actually that scene and another scene kinda stuck with me. Bear kind of panics there and is trying to diffuse the situation, saying, "Oh, we are having a nice day," and kinda pushes it under the rug and is, like, kind of whatever about it.
This is kind of where like I know like later on there's scenes that stick out, but yeah, after that I know things just like start escalating um
Mhm.
with kind of Wish Nikki being a lot more obsessive over Bear and Bear being really he's starting to push back a lot more and it's like you made this wish and now things aren't going your way because of your how you had an expectation for what your life with Nikki would be like if she was to like you and it's not
Yeah,
going his way. So he's starting to get very like he's starting to pull back.
yeah. Is this the part where, the sex scene that was after the date night, or was this
I
after?
believe it was around then. Yeah.
Yeah, and this part I couldn't watch, I almost cried, after the date, they're having sex, and I think this is where I thought this was real Nikki, kind of, like, putting on a performance while they're having sex. And that one broke my heart. I'm just like, oh, that's real Nikki, and she can't like she doesn't have. This is where we kind of see like she has no bodily control, like control over her body. The whole wish is like taking that autonomy away from her, and so this is where like I it starts to get heavy. At least for me, it starts to get very heavy. I think this is also cuts to the part where they're in the middle of the night, and this is another scene that also stuck out to me is that they're in the middle of the night. He wakes up and he sees Nikki in the shadows. You kind of hear her whispering, and
Yeah.
she's like, "I like watching you sleep at night," kind of thing, and it kind of comforts her.
Yeah, and, like, that whole scene before and to this, it's just it's, like, it's a lot, and then
Hmm.
that first scene was really, like, heartbreaking, and then to, like, see because like you said, she's just acting Bear knows too that there is stuff clearly not going on that should be
With
going
Nikki,
on, and
yeah,
so that's a big thing, like, from the start, Bear could tell that there wasn't it wasn't really Nikki,
Mhm.
and he just kept choosing to ignore it
Ignore
and be
it.
like, "Whatever, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do whatever I want." And so that scene too really solidified, like, yeah, he is a piece of shit.
Yeah,
Excuse my
and this is
language.
yeah, and I just feel like he's pushing the problems away just so he can be with Nikki.
Mhm.
I don't like it.
No, yeah,
Yeah, I'm just
and
like, "This is a piece of shit."
he doesn't wanna be with her, and then when things
Mhm.
don't go his way, he's just like, "You're crazy," especially with this scene right after when she's hiding in the shadows, and
Mhm.
that part's really creepy because the camera's panning back and forth, and you don't see
Yeah.
her, but you hear her, and all of a sudden you see her in the corner. He's just like, "What are you doing? Get out from there," and
Yeah, and come
he
back to
just
bed.
she just starts kinda doing, like, all these, like, weird, I don't know, weird,
Yeah,
like,
it's just
movements
like
and
she's going
stuff.
like this.
She has
Yeah, it's just kinda
a flower
moving.
pot, and she just holds it in front
Yeah.
of her face and walks up real close. She's still in the shadows too,
Mhm.
and he's just, like, freaked out, and she's, "I'm gonna stay here," and then I think I don't know if it's this scene or if it's later on, but she's just, like, I think she screams at him. I think she eventually goes into bed
Oh,
too.
yeah, so it's this scene and, she starts to cry, like, that iconic
Yeah.
crying where she's just, like, kinda hiccuping crying, like, when you cry really hard, you start to hiccup. So she starts doing that, and, I've also noticed her face is kinda contorting, so, a lot of the makeup, especially when it comes to Wish Nikki, is kinda based off of the Uncanny Valley makeup.
Mhm.
And so you kind of see her face kind of like being different than the regular Nikki. Again, going back to like all like the camera angles with her in the shadows is kind of showing like it's hiding the real Nikki and showing you Wish Nikki. She is crying, accusing him of not loving her enough, and he's like reassuring her, like, "Hey, like I do love you, but you need to get back to bed." She does get back to bed, and I think it's also this part where, like, he kinda, like, he's hugging her, but wants to, like, let go of her, and so he takes his arm off of her, and she's screaming at him. What did she
Yeah.
scream? It was, like, a really loud scream.
I think it's just like, "Don't leave," or something, or
Yeah,
yeah, or like,
like,
"No."
"Don't leave me."
Yeah, and so he's just like,
Mhm,
"Okay." Then he just stays there, and
mhm.
it's crazy, and I think after this is I think when the next scene with the cat comes up. I think it's the next day.
Yeah, so she packed his lunch for him for work. And this part also, I think I don't think she ever slept, because after she packed his lunch for him, he's about to leave for work. You see the door is duct taped,
The
and he
whole
can't get
thing
up.
is just
The
duct
whole
tape.
entire yeah, and I'm just like, girl, I know you're Wish Nikki, but like, holy fucking shit.
I thought they did
Like,
really good with this scene too because, like,
yeah.
it doesn't show the door at all, it just shows them talking, and
Mhm.
he, like his back is to the front door, and then I think
Mhm.
eventually he turns around and his face is just, like he's visibly, like, horrified, and you're just like, "Wait,
Yeah.
what's going on?" I thought I don't know if she killed something or something, I don't know. I was
Yeah.
like, "Maybe it's gonna, like, escalate that fast," but no, like, he turns around, the door is just, like, taped shut all the way across.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And
"Girl."
he has to act normal about this too, because he's just like, "Nikki, you can't," because he keeps reassuring Nikki that he loves her, but also is saying, like, "You can't be acting like this," kinda thing. And so she's just like, "Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, like, I won't act that way. It's not gonna happen." And he's also trying to remain calm and normal while opening up the duct tape door. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
I kinda found it a little funny that he was trying to, like, pull the
You
door,
could
and I'm
hear
like
the duct tape trying to come off the door.
yeah.
And I did like that about this. I mean, like a lot of horror, there's, like, a lot of serious things going on, but then there's also some, like, a little bit comedic stuff kinda going on through there
Mhm,
too, especially, like, with, Curry Barker being, also a comedian too. He
mhm,
does, like, little comedy sketches. Like, there's, like, little bits and pieces too that, like, people are just like, "Oh, that's funny." Duct tape
mhm.
door, definitely. And I think it was back at the other scene when she was kinda in the corner hiding. I think he yells, this is when he's starting to be like, "You're freaking me out." He starts, like, actually telling her, like, "You need to stop doing this stuff, you're freaking me out."
Yeah.
And it reminded me of a meme. I think I posted immediately after when I was just like, just saw the movie. It was this lady with this cat, and the cat is just kinda, like, looking has, like, a aggressive face on his face, and she's like,
Oh, is it
"Stop
the
doing
cats
that.
like this?
scaring me." Yeah. He smacks her and she's like,
Yeah.
"Stop, you're scaring me."
Stop, you're scaring me. You're scaring me.
And then he just like smacks her again. And then she's like,
Yeah.
"Stop. I told you to stop." And I'm like, "Oh my God." Like the whole time I was watching I mean, I was watching the movie actively like paying attention, but also that was in the back
Yeah.
of my mind. I was like, "That's so funny. I'm gonna post that later."
Yeah.
Um,
Um and like going back the whole Kevin post, I'm just like Kevin is diabolical for posting this. Do you want me to mention the part?
oh yeah, so now they go now he goes to work. He has his packed lunch.
Yeah. And he is talking with Sarah, and Sarah is kind of mentioning to him, cuz this is where we kind of notice that Sarah has a crush on Bear. And we kind of notice this throughout the movie because at the beginning Nikki is trying to like be a wing woman for Sarah and telling Bear like, "Hey, what do you think of Sarah? Like she's kind of hot, isn't she?" Um but like this time around you can kind of tell that like Sarah does have like some sort of feelings or crush on Bear, and she's talking about going to some sort of art school that she really wants to go to, and we also find out I think her dad also owns the music store.
Yeah.
Is also talking about like her weird behavior, like Nikki's weird behavior, how like the switch up was not what she expected, but also this kind of rubbed me the wrong way because I don't think Sarah's kind of a girl's girl either, because she's just like mad at Nikki for kind of taking her man. But like, I don't know, maybe this is just my opinion. If your friend is showed no interest in the guy you're liking, but then does a completely 180 and acts abnormally like not herself, then I think that's something you should probably talk to her with. That's just me though. I feel like Sarah is not a girl's girl. Right after they're talking about this whole like her going to school, her talking about Nikki, and then she notices like the note on Bear's container saying like my little food critic, and he's taking a bite of the sandwich, and I think she mentions it that the sandwich smelled a little weird, and so he looks
Yeah.
at the sandwich, and it is the sandwich is made out of the dead cat.
It's like visually not it's not any other like sandwich deli meat. It's gray and like
Yeah.
and he starts piecing it
It was
together.
Yeah, he throws up in a trash can. So what I'm saying is that Kevin was diabolical for posting this, because he made a post, I think the day after he went to go see it, and it's just like obsession in pictures without spoilers, and he posts a picture like the meme cat photo with a sandwich, like two breads in between the cat, and I'm just like, that's diabolical.
Obsession out of context, but with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know, like, if this video goes up on YouTube, we could
We'll
probably
post
insert the
we'll
yeah,
post our memes and then the other things that yeah, the things that we're thinking
yeah,
about when we saw this
yeah.
movie. And oh, another thing too in the lunchbox that was in there was I didn't catch this, I don't think, until I was watching movies or movie reels and stuff about it after. So like
Mhm,
there's like a polar picture in there of Nikki and Bear, and
mhm.
there's writing right pointing at Nikki and it says not me. And
Yeah.
so because we know that Wish Nikki and Real Nikki have been kind of going swapping a little bit when Wish Nikki's like asleep, I think is what's
Mhm,
happening. Real Nikki is like kind of she's like I think she's conscious from throughout the whole thing, but in the moments where she actually is kind of in control, I think she had put that picture in there so Bear would
mhm.
get like a hint, like another hint, because I mean there's been many hints and he's
Yeah.
still being a
He's
dumbass.
Yeah, I think he probably does know, is just oblivious to everything.
Yeah, he's at this point we you can tell he's just completely just kind of trying to ignore it because he's still trying to just get what he wants, which is
Mhm.
just to be with Nikki just for himself. He doesn't clearly care about her.
I do think at this point, like workday ends, and both Bear and Ian are talking about how he doesn't like the fact that Nikki is always with him or clinging on to him, and does not like Nikki's attitude. And he mentions like some sort of party, saying like, "Oh, it's a guys' night kind of thing." Like, and I was gonna invite you, but I don't want to because you're gonna bring Nikki. Bear goes, "Oh, like I'll go. I'll just tell Nikki to stay home." And he like reaffirms to Ian like, I will go to the party. We're still friends kind of thing. I'll go to the party and I won't bring Nikki. And I think when he gets home, I don't think I skipped any parts, right?
I don't think so. I think yeah, it goes to him going home, duct tape still on the door probably.
Yeah.
uh,
Um, he make this is the point where he makes the phone call to One Wish Willow, right? The company that does One Wish Willow.
It's I think it's before that. Before he gets home, he makes the call, or
Hmm.
he's probably just parked at home, makes the
Yeah,
call to One Wish Willow because he's just like, there's things going on that shouldn't be going on. This could be all there could have been stuff that happened before, but he does call the number on the back. And there is a little Easter egg on the box too about not a bad idea or something.
yeah,
Not I'm like trying to think of the acronym. Yeah. It's oh shoot, I'm totally butchering it. It's not a bad idea.
yeah,
It's something, but it spells out tabby cat on the back,
yeah,
and it's,
yeah,
totally a bad idea. I think that's what it is. Um,
yeah,
yeah, so there's, like, little Easter eggs there too, and when he makes a call, the voice actor is Curry Barker, the director, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And he's like a typical like teller operator, and it's just like, hey, like One Wish Willow, what can I do for you? And this is where, like, I'm already pissed off at Bear, but he makes a request saying that he wants to alter a wish. And I'm just like, you don't even want to get rid of your wish. Your first thing is to ask, can I alter their wish? Because he does not like how Nikki is interacting. He does not like how Nikki's acting weird. He just wants to just be with Nikki, but he wants normal Nikki. And so the guy on the phone is just like, you can't alter a wish kind of thing. But I'm pretty sure he first asked, would you like to cancel your wish? And then this is when like Bear said, like, no, I want to alter it. And he, guy on the phone says, you can't do alterations. And so then Bear kind of, in a sense, he kind of accepts defeat, saying, okay, fine, I want to cancel it. And the operator goes, you can't cancel your wish. And I had a feeling, this is just my own theory, is that he probably did have the option to alter the wish, or like not alter the wish. He probably did have like the opportunity to cancel the wish, but the fact that he said he wants to alter it, the guy was probably like, we're not gonna cancel the wish. This is
Mm.
what he, asked for.
Yeah,
But
I haven't thought of
yeah.
that, yeah. We do learn that the operator tells him, like, they're only I think Bear asks, like, "Oh, how does the wish like, how do I get it undone or whatever?" He's like, "Oh,
Hmm.
it ends when you die." Like,
Yeah.
basically. Like, when you
Yes.
die, the wish will be over, she'll be, like, normal. And Bear's just like, "What the fuck? Like, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna die
Hmm.
just to get rid of this." And he clearly can tell that, like, there's stuff going on with Nikki, like, this isn't really her, so he's just like,
Hmm.
gonna keep letting her whatever. And I think not the director, well, the director, because he's the voice behind it. He
Yeah.
he says like, "Oh, do you want to talk to the real Nikki?" And
Yeah.
or do you want to talk to her? And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "Do you want to talk to her?" And then you start hearing Nikki. You get it's her screams in the background, and so like
Yeah.
it sounds like it's like the real Nikki, kind of just like in her inside of herself, like her body,
And
just like trapped
yeah.
and like trying to get out.
Yeah, I kind of think that this kind of reminds me of the I forgot what the place is called in no, not Nope, Get Out, the
Mm.
Unsunken place. And I think this is where I'm kind of speculating that Nikki's kind of hanging out in like her own consciousness, so she's still in there, but she's in her own version of the Unsunken place. And so this is like, I thought that was real Nikki screaming on the phone. I forgot this like detail, but before Bear, because this is kind of relevant when Bear walks into the to his home. When Bear leaves for work, it cuts to a scene with Nikki just smiling and not moving, and she pees on the floor.
Yeah, she's
If
just
you're peeing on the
peed all
floor,
over
and I'm like,
herself. There's like bits. I think I don't know if she puked on herself or she was eating cat food. But there
I
was
have,
like chunks of stuff like on her like mouth. I don't know, but it was just like she
yeah.
literally was waiting there for hours once he gets home. Like she's still there.
Yeah, not moving in the same, like, was literally at the same spot, and I don't honestly don't know what was coming out of her mouth either, but I was just like, this poor girl, again, does not have fully autonomy of herself, and she shat herself, and most likely either, like, ate something or what, but she, like, had something coming out of her mouth, and I was disgusted seeing that, but I was also, like, I felt really bad for her, like, I don't like, she does not deserve to go through that. She's like nonchalant about it, where like Bear is like freaking out, saying, "Oh my god, like Nikki, what the fuck," kind of thing, and he reassures her like, "Oh, I'm gonna clean this up," and she was just like, "No, no, I can clean this up. I can clean this up." But then she goes to the shower and she's like, again, nonchalant about it, not freaking out that like she is covered in her own feces and possibly pee. Goes to the shower, and as he's kind of next to the like shower door, like he kind of talks to her about going to Ian's party, and he kind of says, "Oh, it's an all guys thing." And this is where she kind of pauses and she's just like, "Well, Sarah told me she's going to the party." And then
Yeah, and he's just like, "No, it's a boys' night." And she's like, "No, she's going." And she's like, "I'm gonna go." And then he's just like, "No, no, no." And then she's just kind of like freaks out. I think she like screams or something, or like you
Mhm.
hear it. It's so funny though, right before when he mentions the boys' night, she immediately turns the shower off. You hear the water like go from turning
Yeah.
on to just turned off immediately. And he's just like, "Oh fuck." Like I fucked up. And yeah, so she's just insistent on going. And then he ends up, yeah, just being like, "Okay, fine, you're going. Like you could go." And then
She's like,
they,
"Okay."
yeah, she's like, "Hey." And then it switches to the scene of the party. They show up and Ian's like, "The fuck, dude? Like I told you not to invite her." And he's like, "You invited Sarah." There was some, I think there was a couple other girls there too. Clearly
I think
not
so.
a boys' night.
Yeah.
Um
It's just a
and
party.
so he's just like, "You should have invited her." And you could tell this is their first time out too, I think, as like their
A
friend group
couple.
again with other
Yeah.
people and as a couple. Air
Mhm.
quote couple, because
Yeah.
she has no choice because fucking Bear. Yeah, and so I think they start playing a game of Jenga, and they're doing Jenga where like they have the rules written on
Mhm.
um the pieces,
It
and
it's like I call it, I don't remember what I it's a version of Jenga where it's just like kind of dares on like the Jenga pieces. You pull it out and you have to do what it says. So it's just like if you pull out a Jenga piece, you got to drink like 2 shots. I don't know.
yeah. And so there's just like stuff like that, like take a shot. I
Mhm.
don't know. There was like, oh, switch seats with this person. And so Nikki and Bear, of course, I think are sitting next to each other. But then actually I think they were sitting next to each other. Maybe they started out not sitting next to each
They
other.
started not sitting next to each other, and I think Nikki goes first with the Jenga piece because it was her turn. But like throughout the party, she's kind of acting a little weird, and you can tell like she's acting off. And her when she pulls out the Jenga piece, she is telling a really really gruesome story. Like I guess it's a love story, and I think it was. I was kind of like looking online to see what story it was, and it's supposed to be a romantic retelling of Hansel and Gretel, but like like where Hansel and Gretel are together.
And
And
they're
I'm
brother and
like,
sister. So
they're brother and
it's
sister. Yeah. And so the Indy is so good in this part because like her voice changes when it comes to like reciting some of the words. And a lot of the words is talking about how the love came from like a willow branch or something like that. And like kind of referencing the one wish willow. And so like as she's kind of retelling this Hansel and Gretel story, it's freaking everyone out and it's freaking Bear out. And I think Bear is freaking out, but also embarrassed that like Nikki's acting like this. And
yeah. I think a lot of people agree with this, that Nikki had picked this out. Real Nikki had started saying, well, because people are saying that real Nikki had chosen this specific poem to read because
mm-hmm,
it's a brother and sister, but it's also this like gross sexual kind of
mm-hmm,
dynamic between them. And then she mentions the willow branch, and so people are thinking like that she had said that because like reinforcing to Bear, like, I only see you as a
a
friend,
brother.
as a
Yeah.
brother. And
Mm-hmm.
then so she's reading this. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure if that's real Nikki reading it, like if she just was in snapped to like into herself like for a moment to be able to read it, or if
Yeah.
Wish Nikki was reading it. But it did feel like it was kind of her, real Nikki, being like, "Hey, like this is another reminder to you."
I feel like because I don't know if she wrote it out or she was reading it out, but I feel like at first it was real Nikki that was probably writing it out, and then it switched to Wish Nikki to make it more of a love story.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Love
true. That could
story.
be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she reads that. Everybody's freaked the fuck out. And then she just sits down like normal. And she's just like, "There's my story." And then done. And
Yeah, like
then,
normal. Like it's her behavior is just off.
yeah, which is not her fault.
I
Um,
know.
And so it's like it sucks. Everybody's just like, she's crazy, and it's like,
Yeah,
bruh,
and I'm just
she's
like,
not
"No, she's not."
herself.
Yeah, and I wish more people. I don't know, this is where I, like, get mad at the friend group. I'm just like, "If you think she is acting weird, just make sure, like, you check up on her." But that's just me.
Yeah. And even if she was on drugs, y'all are her friends. Check
Mhm.
on her, be like, "Hey, like, you're clearly not doing okay. You're doing these." I don't remember
Yeah.
what drugs they said she was doing, but like this is like clearly affecting you and stuff. And it's
Yeah.
also affecting like we're worried about you and they should check on her. But like nobody's
Yeah.
clearly doing that at all.
Yeah,
And
because 'cause I'm like, her friend group sucks. But I'm
they
just gonna
do.
have to say, like, they really do suck.
Yeah.
This part is, Bear's turn, and he pulls out, he reads it out,
Hey yo.
pulls out the Jenga piece, reads it out, and says, "Oh, kiss the person that's on your left." And who's on his left is not Nikki, it's Sarah. And if y'all don't know, Sarah has a crush on Bear. And I think this is where Nikki kind of like, at least wish Nikki is aware that there is like some sort of like fondness between like Sarah and Bear. Because real Nikki knows that. And if you remember, real Nikki was trying to set up both Bear and Sarah, but like wish Nikki sees her as a competition. And so she gets up and puts out a pout face.
Yeah, because Bear doesn't he doesn't go in like to kiss Sarah at all. But like he kind
Hmm.
of like hesitates. Instead of being like, "Oh no, I'm not going to do that," he's just
Hmm.
kind of like pauses, and Nikki just yeah, she immediately kind of just not happy about that. Stands
Hmm.
up, walks around, walks right behind Sarah. Sarah's like in a individual chair. I think all the
Yeah.
people on that side are, and
Hmm.
Nikki just grabs her chair, pulls her
Just
back, and then like just plops right there, and just like kind of leans into Bear, and it's just like kiss or whatever. I don't remember if she kissed on the
yeah.
lips or not, but yeah, and she gets a kiss and she's like, that she's happy.
Yeah.
But
And then
yeah,
she's
that
just
frown face she did right before when she stood up, she's just so unhappy.
yeah. I what she said after the kiss was just like, "You are like the love of my life, like nothing's gonna come between us," kind of thing. And I'm just like, this is not normal Nikki.
Yeah, and everybody's just like, this crazy bitch. And I'm like, no.
Yeah. Is this where she like she gets up and screams again?
I can't remember if she screams.
Like
I don't
real
remember.
Nikki. Yeah, I know
Oh, she
real
does.
Nikki. Yeah. Real Nikki
Yeah.
snaps back and is just like, "It's not me. It's not me." And she starts screaming that. And she grabs, like, she breaks a bottle and she starts to stab herself.
I know. And she just
Yeah.
does that like several times. And then she finally like snaps back to wish Nikki, and then
Hmm.
she's just like, "I'm so sorry,"
I'm
and
so
then she's just like
sorry.
kind of
Yeah.
like laughing, or like she has like this face, like if there's like an image that like I've seen it like she looks shocked, laughing, kind of
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry," and then it's just blood down like her eye
Yeah.
because, oh god,
And it cuts to a scene where Bear is trying to take Nikki to the ER. I think this is where what at least what it sounds like to me is that Nikki probably refused medical care, and legally speaking, if a patient a patient refuses medical care, the nurse or a doctor cannot give them care. So
oh,
like,
that explains. I was
yeah,
because I
that's what
was a
I'm
little
assuming.
confused by what. Yeah, they're at the hospital and like he's arguing with the nurse or
Yeah,
the staff, and they're just like no, and then they leave.
yeah,
And they go home, he like tries to help patch her up, and then he has like a conversation with her like, "You can't be doing this."
like, I want you to be like normal Nikki.
Yeah, and then she promises
Yeah,
like, I'll be normal, I can do that." And then I think she does like that.
it was
Is
the
this the
backwards
scene?
walk.
Yeah, she ends up doing like the weird backwards walk, which looks like in
Yeah,
slow motion, but also doesn't at the same time.
it's like she's rewinding herself.
Yeah, and I'm just like, "Oh god," and then the shadows again, it's, like, just her standing in, like, the doorway of the kitchen, and everything's all like, creepy and stuff,
Hmm.
and then after that, I think they go to bed,
Yeah,
after he's cleaned her up and they've kind of, like, calmed down from the events that just happened, they go to
yeah.
bed.
He gets a text from Sarah, and she kept saying like, "Hey, we need to meet up, like something's going on," kind of thing. And Bear's like, "I can't meet with you because like Nikki has him like close to her and he can't move." So Sarah says, "Okay, fine, then I'll go to you." He tries to get up from the bed, like kind of moves her arm. to slowly get up. Was it this part where it's normal Nikki, right?
Yeah, so he actually, I think, manages to get up and he's about to walk out the bedroom. And then he hears Nikki say, "Please kill me." And I can't remember, she probably says other things, but she's just like, "Please just kill me." Like she
Hmm.
whispers it. And then he's just like, "What?" And she says it again. And he's just like, "Is it really that bad to be with me?"
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, you
And
piece
I'm
of
like,
fucking shit. Yeah, and he's just like, is it really that bad to be with me? Kind and
and it's like,
like, Bear,
she's clearly in
please.
pain. She
Yeah.
has no control over herself. You forced her into the situation, and you're more worried about how it like you're gonna feel and stuff. If
Hmm. I hate Bear. I am just
yeah,
like, I hate
if it's not
Bear.
clear, Bear is the real monster in this
Yeah,
movie.
I hate bears so much. So yeah, like this part, I'm just like, I wrote in my notes, men derogatory, like I did with my other notes for 28 Days Later, and because I'm just like, I hate Bear. I'm like in
Yeah,
this. Oh, and then I wrote in this situation, I do not choose Bear,
nope,
as in like, oh, who do you choose, a man or a bear?
not
Yeah,
even the bear. No,
no, not Bear.
no bear, no man, no.
This is the part where he meets up with Sarah, correct?
Yeah, so they meet in a park. She's parked there at whatever park. I guess they all used to hang out.
Hmm.
Seems like it's a common spot that they used to hang out, and um, seems like she goes there often. I think she just goes there to smoke and like kind of decompress.
Hmm.
And yeah, they're talking. Um, and previously they had talked about college and stuff. And I think so. She doesn't actually talk to him about anything, like bring up because it seemed like she was concerned about stuff, but she does not bring
Yeah,
up anything about like I thought she was maybe gonna be like, "Oh, this stuff's going on with Nikki," like kind of how Ian had done previously.
yeah.
But no, she just started they're talking, and I don't even think they like talk about what happened earlier that day too at the party. But I know
I
she
thought
has a
that
letter.
Yeah, I thought that Sarah did tell Bear about Ian and Nikki. They used to hook
You're
up.
right. That was
Yeah,
I was trying to remember when that was told. That yeah,
yeah.
that's the only time
So
that
it
could have been
was
told.
Yeah, so it was this part. And Sarah had like a feeling that Nikki was using Bear to get back at Ian, like come some sort of revenge thing. Because again, Ian and Bear, I don't think they're best friends, but like to Nikki and Sarah, they're close friends. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't like I don't like Ian
Ian's
either.
not even good either.
Yeah, so but like Nikki and Ian have been hooking up for, I think they said, the past couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, the Bear is just like kind of like he's kind of, you could tell he's like annoyed and angry about it. And I think this is also kind of jumps to Sarah about her accepted or not, the letter of like whether she's going to get accepted to this college or not.
Yeah, because she has the letter from her last college, I believe, that she had applied to. So she's like, this is like my last chance to get into.
Mhm.
And the whole time, this scene, back to like the cameras, the angles that they do, there's like this like it'll pan between showing Bear sitting in the passenger seat and then also showing Sarah in her driver's seat. And it's like there's like it shows her kind of sitting like you can see like her profile. The window, there's like a big huge, you just see the full window of like her side. And it just makes
Mhm.
it seem like there's something gonna be standing there soon. Like I just had the full time just had like the feeling I was like something's gonna happen. They're setting this shot up like a certain way.
Yeah, because I know this is where Sarah kind of like tells Bear that she has a crush on him, because she kept saying like, "Oh yeah, I mean, I was on the left of you," kind of like hinting at like, "Hey, I did like you." And I kept thinking, like, in my opinion, like, you're wanting to pursue Sarah. Like, it seems like he wanted to pursue Sarah, or like think that like, "Oh yeah, like Sarah really does like me." And I'm like, "Well, you literally just wish for Nikki." So I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, so Bear sucks.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
he sucked from the beginning, but then it seems like they're about to like lean in for a kiss
mhm.
and boom, right goes through the window. Nikki, you see her sprinting, she headbutts right through the window
Window, yeah.
and immediately puts a brick on the steering wheel, grabs Sarah's head and starts bashing her head
Yeah.
into the fucking brick. And you just hear the honks. Every time the head
Yeah.
bashes against the brick, it's just like a honk. I don't even know how many times that happened. She did that, but you just see Sarah's head just like
It's
repeat.
concave, it's everything. You
It's
don't see, I saw like a hint of her eyeball and I'm just like,
yeah, and then
"Holy
finally
fucking." Shit.
Nikki just stops, and then it's just like the inside of her head. You see the eyeballs, and like I did hear in, I think, an interview in the director's
Yeah.
cut that they show a longer
A
scene.
longer
They
scene.
extend it, and you could hear her kind of just like gurgling,
Gargling like
like
she's
she's
still
alive
alive.
still. And
Yeah,
I'm
I saw
like,
that too.
that scene made me sick. Like I almost
Yeah.
like had to leave because I don't do good with gore. Um,
Mm-mm.
and I was like, oh no, oh no. I was like, I don't know if I could stay here for the rest of the movie. I was like, I'm not gonna puke, but like I don't. Ugh. So like I don't know if
Yeah.
I can watch the director's cut, but I kind of want to watch because I'm like, that's crazy. They really were gonna go longer with that.
Yeah, I would like to see the director's cut in it because I kind of want to see how different the movie perspective is with the director's cut. This is where Nikki is also telling Bear like this is all of this is because of you because you want to be with me. Now she's like persuading Bear like, hey, we need to get rid of the body, we need to get rid of the evidence, and I know the perfect place. And at least for me, it sounded like they were gonna hide her in like one of the instrument cases. We were both in band,
Yeah,
so
that's what it seemed like.
I think it was either a drum set case that she was going to be hidden in, or like if anybody has done marching band and knows like the sousaphones, which if y'all don't know, it's like the marching band version of a tuba, which is like a bigger trumpet. That's how like the best I could describe for people who are not in band. I think it's one of those cases that she hit herself or
The
hit
big
the body at.
cases, yeah.
Yeah, one of the big cases, but yeah, it sounds like they were going to put her body in one of those cases, but
Oh, that's crazy. I was in that scene, I think because I was still recovering from the gore. I was like,
yeah.
where are they? I don't know. I thought they were in a place where she was gonna like get rid of the body, like tear it up or something. But that makes sense that she would hide it. Now that I think about it,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I don't know if Wish Nikki was like, I'm gonna pretend that, or we're gonna try to hide it like someone else had murdered her and hid her body here,
Yeah.
or something. But yeah, and I'm like, that's
I
crazy.
think
So.
yeah. So that was the original. At least what I was observing is that she was going to
Mhm.
hide her in one of the instrument cases. But I won't jump ahead. But that wasn't the case
Yeah,
for later.
so
So
Nikki does tell, because Bear is visually like he's still like in shock, and Nikki's just
yeah.
like, "I'll take care of it. Just go home,
Hmm.
clean up or something." And she's like, "Don't worry, I got it, boo. Like you fucked
Hmm.
up, and I did this for you, so I'm gonna take care of the rest, whatever." And then he goes home. Does he go home? No, he doesn't even go home. He
No,
goes to
he
Ian's, doesn't he?
no. So
Or
I think this is the sequence of events that happens is I believe he is still in the car and he opens up Sarah's acceptance letter and you see in the
that's
letter that she
right.
gets accepted to I don't remember what university, but it's like a university that's really well known for like art school. And he starts like bawling, like realizing like, oh my god, I gotta fix now he realizes that he has to fix this after, the girl that had a crush on him had died.
Yeah,
Um, and then he goes back to the shop where he got the one wish
that's
willow.
what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, and then had like he is all like covered head to toe with blood and dirt from Sarah and asks the shop guy where's like the one wish willow because he doesn't see it and where the display was. What was the guy saying that like oh like the one wish willow does work like I turned out fine kind
I
of
think at
thing.
first he was fucking with them though. He's like, "We don't have that." He's like, "What is
Yeah.
that?" And then he's like,
Yeah.
"Bitch, no, I bought it from here." And then
Yeah.
he's like, "Nah, I'm fucking with you. It's right over there." Or he's like, "It's right here."
Yeah.
And then he
I
does
felt
ask him.
bad with this part. Yeah, I'm like, this poor guy is going through it, and he's like fucking with him.
I'm like, "That's so funny." I'm like, "Honestly, Bear, that's what you get."
Yeah.
But then yeah, the dude is just like, then he's like, "Nah, I'm playing. Here it is." And then Bear's asking him like, "How do I undo it?" Like, and he's like, "Oh no, like my wish is fine. Like, what you can't unwish your wish." And
Hmm.
then he's just like pissed. He's like, "What? So I have to like live with this?" And then
Yeah.
did the dude remind him too that like he has to, the only way for it to like be undone is if he kills himself? I
Yeah, I
think
think
he
this is
did.
the reminder. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
he gets a reminder that he has to kill himself or like the person a part of his wish to undo the wish. And so I don't remember how many one wish willows he grabs, but I'm pretty sure he grabbed like two or three. And this is where he goes to Ian's.
Yes. Yeah.
and begs for Ian to undo the wish, because before he like goes inside to Ian's house, he tries to like do another wish. And this is the part where we've mentioned earlier that like if the wisher already had like already broke a willow for his first wish, the music will change. And so we hear the music when he opens the box and he tries to break it, but like there's this force like not he's not able to break the willow. So yeah,
Yeah.
this is where he goes to Ian's.
Yeah. So because Ian is trying to, again, tell Ian. I mean, everybody knew that Nikki wasn't acting normal, but he goes to Ian and he's just like still covered in blood.
Mm-hmm.
He's telling him like what is going on. I don't think he tells him that Sarah is dead. I don't think he
No, I
mentions that
don't
at
think
all
so.
at
No.
any point in this conversation, but he's just telling him like you need to make this wish. Like this is what happened. I made a wish, made Nikki crazy, try to um and she's just that's why she's like this. And so he's telling him like you need to make this wish for me to like undo it. And he's like, this is not real. Like you're playing with me and all this. He doesn't believe him. He ends up being like, okay, I'll make a wish. And then he's like, I wish for $1 billion or something.
Yeah,
And then
and he
immediately, but like a bunch of just cash just starts falling on him, like raining just directly on him. And he's like, and Bear's just like,
yeah, I
looks
think
so
Bear yells at
defeated.
him saying like, "No." And then it starts raining the billion
And Ian's
dollars.
like, what the fuck? He's like, it's real. And it's another like all this stuff that's been going on, and then like all these like little comedic moments at the end too. It's like, yeah, Bear's just pissed. I thought he was gonna like kick Ian's ass. I thought he was gonna do something to him.
Yeah.
And he just like, I think he's just done. He's just like, oh, okay, I gotta go
Yeah,
back.
Bear is in distress. And so yeah, he goes back home and I think his last resort is to have Nikki undo her wish. Or not. Yeah, like he was going to force Nikki to undo the wish. And so he goes in. It's his house is just a mess, and we see that there is a shrine for Sarah. And I think this is where I think Nikki has a pistol, right? Or some sort of gun. And she's
Yeah.
like screaming at him, saying, like, why won't you love me kind of thing. And he like as they're like kind of having like she's having this screaming match with Bear. Bear's trying to like talk her down and say, like, hey, I need you to do this wish for me, please. I just need you to do this wish. She's wearing like Nikki's appearance is changing, like you said before, that like she dresses like the way that Nikki or wish Nikki dresses is like to cater for Bear's like image. So we see the trad wife aesthetic, and then she is starting to dress kind of like how Sarah dressed. So she's wearing Sarah's dress, and I believe either a wig or her scalp.
I think she scalped her and put
Yeah.
her. And then we do see in the background in like the kitchen, Nikki
Mm-hmm.
did not dispose of the body. Sarah's
Mm-mm.
body is just propped up on a chair back there,
Yeah.
and
And I think
she's
it's a.
yeah, she has no clothes on because Nikki took her clothes. And I'm like,
Mhm.
she didn't even leave her. Like, she took all her clothes off. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just really sad because like all the
This was
stuff that was going
yeah.
on, and now that's happening to Nikki, and then now like Sarah is also like just her corpse
Yeah,
is just being like also being just like
like
messed
displayed
with.
for
Yeah.
yeah, displayed for Bear to see. Again, I feel like this just like Nikki is just not in her own autonomy at all. So, is this where Ian like comes busting through the door to tell Bear about being a billionaire?
Yeah. Ian immediately, I don't know how long it's been since they were just talking, but Ian just like is excited and he's just going in there to like to tell him. And then Nikki just, he's like, oh my God, I'm a billionaire. And then
Yeah.
Nikki just immediately points a gun at Bear or Ian and just like shoots him right in the head and just,
Yeah.
Ian's
I was
dead.
like, "Oh."
So now two of the friends are dead because of all
Mhm.
because of Bear's actions. Like Nikki
Yeah.
said earlier, like this all happened because of you. I think after this, Bear somehow he calms Nikki down and is just like, I just need to go clean up.
To
And then he goes in there and he sees all the pills that he had finally put up into the like medicine cabinet.
Mhm.
Because he had a lot of pills like just left out when his cat had passed, and that's why his cat. We'd seen at the very beginning there was a shot of the cat dead with a bunch of like pill bottles, and then Bear finally picks those up, puts those away, and we see those
Yeah.
pills again. All the stuff that Bear has been told about like how to get rid of the wish, he finally just like considers like, okay, the only way for this to end is if I actually do something. And I
Mhm.
think he did actually grab the gun. I don't
I
remember
think
when.
I think it's when he was talking down Nikki and he grabbed the gun and that's when he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go
Mhm.
use the restroom," kind of thing to freshen up. He tried to pull the gun on himself in the bathroom and he couldn't go through it.
He couldn't do that, so he's like, "I'll just take these pills," and he grabs the pills, and he I think he does end up taking them. He takes up a bunch, and then we
Yes.
see him just start to just sit there and kind of be like, "Okay, like, I have to do this," or like, "I did this," and just kind of his body processing the pills. Immediately, you hear or he's about to, I think, probably, like, pass out, and all of a sudden, he just, like, changes his mind, puts his hands down his mouth to try to make himself
Yeah.
gag and throw up the pills. And then you hear right in that moment too, you
When he's
hear
trying
the
to
little
gag.
you hear the gag and then the little tune from the One Wish Willow, and you hear
Yeah.
a snap. Like in the exact same moment. Like I think Kevin didn't hear it when I was talking about with him. He didn't catch that. And I was like, yeah, no, like you could hear the snap and the little jingle. And
Yeah.
this part pissed me off when Bear just immediately like try to back out of offing himself. I was
Mhm.
like, he finally like I don't he's not redeeming himself, but I was like the one time he actually makes a decision, like it's too late,
Yeah.
because two of his friends are dead, but I was like, then he just sides back. I was like, yeah, he still hate him. And then he immediately like gets up and he looks kind of like not as like shocked. He's just kind of like a little bit like his demeanor changed a little bit. And
Yeah.
he walks out and Nikki's just standing there and she had snapped the One Wish Willow. And you're like, oh shit, she made a
Like
wish.
she used it on him, yeah.
Yeah, for him to fall in love with her, and you're like, "Oh, fuck, they're gonna live together and be all crazy together," and then it's just this, like, little montage of them just being all, like, lovey-dovey and all
And
happy and
kissing,
just
yeah.
obsessed with each other, kissing, and then all of a sudden you just see him start slowly, slowly, like, then passing out because he never, like, threw up the pills.
And so yeah, he is slowly dying in the arms of Nikki. Nikki is crying. And so I think this is also when he was also holding the gun too. Cause I don't know how like the gun ended up on with Nikki, but like he ends up dying in her arms and she's just like full on crying and she gets ready to shoot herself because she can't live without Bear. And then this is where she snaps and she's back to the real Nikki. One moment she's hysterically crying about Bear and then the next moment she freaks out and then she's just like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And she pushes off Bear. She pushes off Bear's corpse and this is where she is just like she's hysterically crying and like wailing. Is this where it kind of cuts to the end credits?
Yeah, and so it cuts to the end credits, and that last scene, it reminded me like, it's the movie ended how it started with Bear's
Mhm.
cat. Yeah, because at the very beginning, we see Bear walk in to his home and find the cat with the pills, and
Mhm.
the cat died from taking the pills, and he's just,
Mhm.
like, crying and, like, just really, like, emotional about the loss, and
Yeah.
then we have this end scene where, like, Bear took the pills and died, and then Nikki's, like, crying and, like,
Yeah.
wailing and but
And
for different context, and it's just, like,
yeah.
crazy how it started and then ended kinda, like, with, like, a little
And
bit of
I'm
that similarity.
pretty sure they both say the same thing because in the beginning well he yells at the cat kind of saying, "What did you do?" Because she also yells in the ending like, "What did you do?" kind of thing. And like
Yeah.
you're hearing her wailing and like repeating saying like, "What did you do?" all within like the credits are rolling and like there's a song. We'll probably I don't know if we can probably clip a little bit of the song.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's I don't remember what the artist is by, but it's like an old-timey song.
That's the movie, and poor
Yeah,
Nikki is gonna have to deal with all the
the
after
consequences.
of
Yeah.
that. And I
We
think they're
even
actually gonna be there's another movie coming out, I think around, like, with the same universe of
Mhm.
the One Wish Willow. So and I think people have said too, like, there's gonna be probably, like, a news I don't think it's a spoiler because I think they've said it in articles or interviews,
Yeah.
but there's gonna be, like, a little news segment of, like, a girl who was arrested for, like, the murder of her 3 friends or something like that. So I think
Mhm.
that's gonna be, like, a
So,
reference to Nikki.
yeah, unfortunately, it sounds like she's gonna end up going to jail and facing trial. So, she does not unfortunately get a happy ending, and it's again,
Oh.
not it wasn't her fault. It like I know there's a lot of people that say like online kind of having this like, and I'm glad that this movie kind of just had a whole like discussion about this and how all of this like Nikki isn't at fault at all in this movie. If anything, she's a victim in this movie, and a lot of her friends did kind of fail her as trying to check up on her. But I want to say like the main culprit of this entire movie is Bear.
Yeah. Yeah. Bear, like I said earlier, is the villain and monster of
Hmm.
this movie. Yeah, 'cause going into it, I mean, like before with this trailer and stuff, I had seen it as like, oh, it's like Nikki's a demon and stuff. But when you watch the
Hmm.
movie, no, yeah, she's not the monster at all.
Did you want to talk about some of like the, I guess, topics? Like since we just finished our review of the movie.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know we had in our last movie discussion, we kind of brought up some like categories that we wanted to like talk about. So I think some of them will be kind of like reoccurring ones or like we'll like rotate. But like the big one here was obviously like our colonizer check was
Hmm.
Bear, like we mentioned too. He took away the like autonomy of Nikki. Yeah, there was just like a lot of terrible things that he did in this
Yeah.
movie. One I wanted to incorporate this time was our run it back scene. So kind of something that we'd like go back and watch again.
Yeah.
Um, just for like that scene or that we'd replay. And we mentioned it earlier too, the restaurant date scene. So when
Hmm.
she's like, no, 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 don't do that. And
Yeah.
like that one I would watch because that performance I was like really
I would
sick.
also, yeah, I would also watch that part. I really hope that again, I mentioned this in the beginning that Indy Navarrete gets an Oscar for this performance because she was just honestly so good. And I think that scene in particular, to like run it back, I'd watch that section of the scene.
Yeah, that one was really good. And then the bedroom scene where she's hiding in the corner and crying
Hmm.
and like she's like her movements are really weird. I see a lot of people
Hmm.
doing that on like reels and stuff, doing the uncanny valley makeup and then
Yeah.
doing it to their partners or whatever and scaring them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that scene is also really good. She did really good in that one too.
I also like kind of this perspective of, we're two indigenous women, but we're also Hispanic Latinas. And I saw a lot of discourse, and I was also talking with our good friend Fry Bread Queen, because she had watched it recently, and I wanted to talk to her about this, and I was telling her that I've seen a lot of discourse on TikTok, mostly on TikTok, is that a lot of men were, mostly men, I should say, were kind of saying, "Oh, I want a woman like that," kind of like I want a toxica like that, or like a toxic Latina woman like that, because that's what I'm into. And I'm like, you're kind of missing the point of the whole movie because, well, for one, she doesn't have full autonomy of herself. And then two, Indy Navarra is Latina, yes, but like her character's race or ethnicity is kind of ambiguous. Kind of like people saying these jokes, saying like, "Oh, I'd like a toxica" kind of way. Like I would handle Nikki like that. It was, I don't know. It really like put a bad taste in my mouth because I'm just like, it's kind of feeding in the toxic Latina culture that it's okay for Latinas to act this way, but also like putting in saying that they're missing the point of the movie, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of like discussions of men in particular missing the point of the whole movie. I think I'm like people we know, like our friends and who've seen the movie, like obviously agree that Bear's
Oh,
the
yeah.
villain in this, and
Yeah.
but there's a lot of people who don't think that, I guess I've been seeing online, which I mean
Hmm.
isn't surprising, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are saying like Bear is a victim and all of this, like, oh, he
Hmm.
didn't know better and all this. And it's like, no, he knew. There were signs from the beginning that it wasn't really Nikki, and he was willingly choosing not to stop
Ignoring
that.
the signs.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I feel like we can probably confidently say that like our like friend groups, even like within the streaming spaces and outside of the streaming spaces, we've all collectively agreed that Bear was the bad guy in this film.
Mhm.
I also like wanted to mention that did this article on Grim Native that I actually ended up reading like right after I watched the movie because I wanted to avoid it for spoiler reasons,
Yeah.
and that like kind of talking about how, you know, Nikki not having her control over herself is just kind of like how the way that our modern patriarchy system are kind of actively taking away particularly women, like indigenous women's like rights, and kind of going back to again the harder topics of MMIW. I feel like this is just a really great discussion of like this movie bringing up how what happens when men kind of have control over our bodies. And it is like I've had some people say that they did not want to go see the movie because of, you know, how difficult it is, like how difficult this movie is. And that's like, it's fair because it is a
Yeah.
very hard movie to watch. Like, I will admit, I did cry at the end of the movie for personal reasons, but overall, it is an amazing movie. If you can, I would highly recommend it, but no hard feelings if you can't handle it. It's pretty heavy.
It is, yeah, and because I think I had seen it, like, almost the I think the week it did come out, I didn't know a lot about it, about, like, the heavy
Hmm.
topics on it. Um, I mean, like, thinking about it, I guess I could have, like, guessed that there would be some, but, like, I was kinda still surprised. Yeah, I think it is important that there are, like, people who talk about, like, the themes of it, and I think
Hmm.
it's important for us too, because we talk about movies, and I know some people haven't seen the movies that we're gonna be talking about too. So, yeah, I think it's good that people are pointing out the heavy themes in there.
Yeah.
Also, like, how we talk about, like, kinda looking out for communities and stuff. Because yeah, I think it is good to be mindful too of, like, for me, like, something might not hit as heavy for
Hmm.
me, like, with the top I mean, it's still, like, I'm a woman, so, like, just seeing that too, but,
Yeah.
like, with certain people having, like, experiences too,
Yeah.
around certain
Um,
topics.
I will say that Curry Barker did a really great job, like a great job of emphasizing that like Bear is just not a great person, and I'm glad that because there was I remember seeing this too that he was offered like $2 million to completely change the plot of the movie, and I'm glad that he did not take it because this was he told a story like in the trailers what seemingly have like a guy that's just really like in love with the girl, again incel behavior, but doesn't want to take the initiative to tell her. I'm glad that he kept the plot too, that like also collectively saying that Bear is a not a great person. I think the
Mhm.
actor that does play Bear also agrees, which I'm just like I'm glad that like most of the and in my opinion I feel like the bare minimum, but like that men find Bear as like the bad guy. And I've also seen that on TikTok, a lot of women are breaking up with their partners who have agreed or who have said that Bear was the victim in this. And I'm like, I feel like this movie is going to be a staple in like future partners. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, like, an icebreaker question, like, "Oh, so who do you think in this movie is the villain?"
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's really, really important, and I know, Curry Barker did say, like, there were scenes too that I think were gonna be included that would have been also, like, on the heavy topics, but,
Hmm.
like, they decided not to pull that, and I think that that was smart too, because like, just with,
Yeah.
like, the few scenes that he did have in there that were, like, a lot harder, like, I think that did it was good enough to, like, kind of hit the point that he was trying to make about
Yeah. So I do got a question for you though. Would
Yes.
you, well, actually, more like two questions. Would you watch this again?
I would definitely watch it again. I really like the movie,
Hmm.
a lot more than I thought I was gonna like it, but I did really like it a lot more than I initially, had expected, and because it's so heavy,
Hmm.
I don't think I would watch it as often, but I would definitely rewatch it again.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. I when this movie came out, I was telling Mario, I'm like, I think I'm going to rewatch it again, but I do need time to. I do need time to rewatch it again. I wouldn't if so if a friend of mine would say, "Hey, like I have Obsession, do you want to watch it with me?" Then yeah, I'll watch it, but
Mhm.
it'll take some time. And what would you rate it? Like, what would you rate it out of 100 beads?
For me, around a 90
Hmm.
beats out of 100.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I rated about, and I think this is the same rating I did with 28 Days Later. I
Mhm.
rated about like a 92, 93 out of beats.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm really bad about, like, rating things, but I'm like, I'm gonna say, like, around a 90, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
I
I
think
do
it
really
was
like it. I think
yeah.
Curry Barker did really good too, and I know he's, like, a younger producer too. Um,
Mhm,
so I think he did really good, especially with, like I know there was, like, a little bit of, like, a lower budget compared to, like, the a lot of the other big movies that were coming out around the time too. And I think a lot
mhm.
of the practical, like, effects and makeup that they and special effects makeup that they did too, was really good and, like, use of lighting too.
Really did love this movie, and I think this is just also my opinion that I feel like more movies should not underestimate younger directors because a lot of I remember a lot of like discussion with Curry Barker and also um I can't remember his name that did the back rooms, but they were kind of like highly like criticizing these young directors, saying like they don't have enough what is it called? Experience as like a movie director, so like their movie's probably gonna be bad. And I wish that more people would have more faith in the younger directors because at the end of the day, this is like our new generation of movie directors. And I don't know about you, I feel like horror movies like kind of have been a hit or miss for me for like the past like 5-ish years. I feel like within the last year or so, like between Sinners of last year and then like now for like Obsession and Backrooms, even though I haven't seen the Backrooms yet, movies have been hitting pretty hard.
Yeah, no, they've been really good, recently too, and I like that there's a lot of, like, creativity with these things too because with a lot of
Hmm.
film, there's a lot of remakes right now,
Yeah.
and so it's really nice to see, like, new ideas and stuff,
Hmm.
with the 28 Beads Later, I did or 20 Beads Later, we're 28 Beads Later, 28 Days Later, those remakes, or those new movies, I think those are really good though, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited, yeah, for the newer generation, and hopefully we'll get some more native horror also. That would be really
Yeah.
cool to see.
Me too.
I
Yeah,
know,
me
I'm
too.
excited to watch, Blood Quantum. I know we talked about that. Eventually, we're gonna watch that too and talk about that.
Yeah,
I
I
know
can't
there's
wait.
other movies too, like The Smudging, I think is one. I haven't seen it, but I
Me
need to watch
neither.
it.
Yeah. Um, I very excited to see what Hollywood has to bring in regards to horror movies because I've seen the lineup for at least this year and I'm really excited. I do want more native horror though because I hope that because we have a lot of in like literature when it comes to native horror, but I kind of want to see more movies. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping this newer generation of again artists and directors especially from our like generation of creators kind of move forward with directing movies.
I think those are all my comments on the movie. I believe the next episode we will be talking about, I know you need to see it, but I
I
think it's
know.
The Backrooms,
Yeah, I need
right?
to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am going to pull Mario into taking me to go see the back room so I we can like record like sit down record. But yeah, I do want to see the back rooms. I know like I did mention like a future episode we should do our where we kind of joke around, at least with Kevin, like
Mhm.
top five, top five insert things go.
Oh, we
So
should
like
do
our
that.
top five favorite horror movies. So
I think we should definitely do that. Maybe after Backrooms, we could do that, have a little fun
yeah,
one, and
yeah,
then we'll go into our, other movies or games too, because there could be
yeah,
games we could talk about too.
yeah. We have a
Um,
wide variety of ideas.
yeah, that'll wanna be fun though, because I know we both played, like, backroom games before
Hmm.
too, and, I've seen, like, probably, like, the videos too that, like, where backrooms originated from, just like those YouTube videos and TikTok videos. So that'll be
Yeah.
fun to talk about.
Yeah, I'll have to do a little bit of a deep dive of like the backrooms lore on YouTube because I know a little bit of it, but not much. And maybe we can talk a little bit about that and then jump into the movie, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be fun. I'll have to do that too, just as like a refresher, because my most
Yeah.
recent experience with like the background stuff was like the games and then the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've seen like the lore videos and
Hmm. Yeah.
um,
So that is our podcast. Tune in every other Thursday for a new episode. At least that's going to be our schedule, as every other
yes,
Thursday. So yeah, that was the 28 Beats Later. I'm JessaRose.
I'm so Elise.
and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you for
Bye.
listening. Bye.